Good night, guys. Back again with another story. Roll on in, come on in. Not too long rolling in, people. So you guys know how that is. Rather, um, got a topic for you guys tonight. I told you guys when I got some time, I will come out and talk about some topics and stuff. Gotta eat first because, like I said, I'm not too long rolling in and stuff like that. So cheers, whoever had supper already or dinner. I'm just having mine. Some brown steel fish, some shrimp, some provision, right? Yeah, you. Come on in, guys. Hungry. Not too long rolling in. So, late food, late night food, you know what I mean? It's already warmish enough. Mm. Lots of pepper. I didn't bother to share it out in the dish, guys. I was just stick a fork in me, I'm done. Just like, eat out of this. So come on in the live. Hope you guys' day is going on so far. You guys' day good. You guys had a wonderful day. And to drink, sorrel from Trinidad. Yeah. Hope you guys even have been good. So come on in while I eat my supper dinner late and we talk about some content. Yeah? Thought that was a bone. Guess not. To be careful, people, because you don't know. Yellow snapper or red tail snapper has bone, and that shit will hurt your throat, right? So you gotta be mindful. hmm Hungry, guys. Mm. Come on into the live. I will talk about the content. Imagine Superintendent find himself in hot water with ice. So we're gonna talk about that, but I'm filling my belly first. Yep, that's what will be the habit over here. Anytime I come home late, and I'm gonna eat. I'm just gonna eat on the live, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Telling you. I love when the fish has pepper. Mm-hmm. With some shrimp in it. Wow. Mm-hmm. That's food nice. Food nice, guys. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Mm. Guys, I know it's a bad habit, but gotta eat, man. Mm-hmm. Mm. Guys, I'm trying to eat fast, but not too fast. Mm. Big up Coach glasses, guys. So much glasses we have. Yeah. Cheers to the Trinidad. So a couple times I drink it, didn't like it, but when it's cold, it's all right. It's not as the one from the so-called. Cheers. This is from Trinidad. It tastes rather different than the one from Jamaica. Yeah, Florence. Good night, sis. How are you? I'm just rolling around, man. I'm exhausted. Why? What's going on with your ambitious self? Just about to do a content. Sometimes you guys won't see nobody over here, but when I'm done, one or two people will watch the content, getting used to coming back, sitting on the channel. I won't sign me in on my phone. I don't know why, but it signs me in on the laptop. So for a couple of days, I've been fighting. I am tired. I'm even eating. Tired, man. Been out of my house. Tired, man. Tired. So once you see me over here eating, then you know. I'm exhausted, and by the time tomorrow in the morning, I have to jump up again on the go. You know how it is. Ambitious people never stay in their bed. Ambitious people usually tired. You know how it is. But I'm going to eat some food because I'm just waiting for one and two people to come on the live. But whether if nobody's on the live or not, I'm still going to talk on the live and drop the content and all of that, right? And then after I drop the content, one and two people will watch the content when they run into the content. You know what I mean? Trying to build the channel a little bit. I don't come on all the time, but when I got some free time, I try to come on. You know what I mean? YouTube is not our bread and butter. YouTube ain't paying us. We pay ourselves. But more time you want to talk, so you say, okay, let you come out and do content. I only come on this channel if I have something important to talk about, like now. So the content is basically about a pastor, not a pastor. Oops, sorry. So that's a different content. That's why I know I'm exhausted. This content, real life issue, is about a superintendent went to America on a student visa. Visa expired. He ended up getting a gun charge in 2020 and 2021. And now I scrape him up, and he's a school superintendent. Remember, school superintendent is the highest, the biggest, right? School board superintendent, right? So now he's locked up by ICE, about to get deported to Guyana. But I did a story the other day where there was a guy that got charged for DUI, right? Locked up by ICE. Yeah, exactly. Locked up by ICE. Locked up by the police. Never got checked if he had immigration documents or not. And then he ended up chopping up that girl, basically dismembered her. Remember that story that I drop on my content if you guys are watching? So that's the story. But I was basically filling my belly first because, nowadays days I said if I'm coming on my content, I really wanted to fill my belly first. Eat, then me talk about my content, right? I don't want my food to be cold. I'm just rolling in. And you don't know, I stopped over to help Hobby for a little bit when I was coming over, and I said, okay, let me just grab a brown stew fish with some ground provision and whatever, and say I'm going to come and eat it, But eating late, I don't gain weight. You know what I mean? Because, hey, I juice my juice and drink my tea and herbal and this and that. You don't know, it's fresh food, not fast food, really. So, I'm going to eat some brown stew fish and shrimp and everything, right? God know you're going to eat. You guys don't know. Have a diet where you don't have to feed your body, feed yourself first, and stuff like that. That's it. Also, the children are good, They're getting older by the day, by the minute, by the second, and stuff like that. They're very well, you know what I mean? Can't complain, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Everybody's good. Everybody's all doing their own thing. Everybody's big people, the way I see it, right? And just enjoy this Trinidadian sorrel. It doesn't taste as great as in the Jamaican one. I like the Jamaican one, but more time we gotta try other stuff, right? But anyways, back to the content. So I'm gonna give my food a rest for a bit, and I'm gonna drop this content, and then I'm gonna go about my business because I gotta rise early in the morning like the sun. You see what I'm saying? Right? Hey Joshua, how are you? Hi my brother, you're always around. How are you? Stuff like that, right? But anyways, for Shirley Entertainment and more. That's your YouTube channel? Is that your channel, Florence? Can you is that your channel or that's on Instagram? I can't tell when I had a milkshake, Joshua. Seriously, I can't tell when I had a milkshake. Okay, so we're gonna get into the content quick and fast. So now, this man, like I said, went to the States, right? He ended up with a gun charge, they claim, and now ICE held on to him, right? His picture is up on the screen, right? So basically they're saying that they're going around targeting all kind of people. Do you guys know that there was a car dealership the other day and they went there, ICE went there to go lock up half of the people in there? You know that ICE is going around locking up all kind of people, they claim, and deporting a lot of people. The other day they've been deporting a lot of people of age, way up in their age. And some people are just saying that the reason why, allegedly, that they're deporting these people so old is because they don't want to pay out their pension. Because if you've been working in America for so long, right? Hypothetical. If you've been working in America for so long, and then you reach 65, and you had a criminal record that you didn't expurge from way back when. I don't know why people have criminal record and don't clean that up, and they have so much money to do other things. I don't get it. But anyhow, and you didn't clean up your record, and you've been out of trouble from a long time, and it's 40 years past that you had that old record, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass with ICE. And then when they deport you when you're in your age of 60 something, when you're almost retired, ready to get your pension, how are you gonna get your pension? Say for example you didn't set up your bank account in your country where you're from. Then what's gonna happen to all your money in the bank account if, say for example, you leave and went to a different country, and when you're coming in, ICE is like, hey, you had a criminal record from way back when. You can't come back to America, yada yada yada. What's gonna happen to all your money in the bank account if you didn't set it up properly? There was a lady like that. Had a problem with her bank and back in the days, robbed some money or stole some money, and she was like 60 something, and she was coming in back from the States, from the Philippines, and they're like, you ain't coming back. So what about her pension and a lot more people pension? So is it because America allegedly don't want to pay out the pension while they're deporting these people so old? Or is it people, or it's their fault? Or it's their fault why they didn't expurge or clean up their criminal record or their past? Should you have a criminal record lingering over your head and not cleaning up your criminal record, knowing that could haunt you later on in life? I don't know. I just feel like if you have a criminal record, out of everything else that you're doing with your money, you should go and clean up your criminal record, the way I see it, because that could come and bite you in your ass, right? Especially if you're looking for jobs, especially if you have a job like other people out here, you can have criminal record, right? Depends on where you work, right? So all of those kind of things. But nevertheless, we're going to get into the story quick and fast, yeah? Because I don't want to drag out you guys' time. I know you guys may be going to work tomorrow and all of that. So I'm going to get into the story, all right? So anyways, let's get into it. So federal immigration agents, right, targeted well-liked leader of Iowa's largest school district in traffic stop Friday and arrested him after he fled in the woods, leaving educators and community members stunned. All right. U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement said that Des Moines Public School Superintendent Ian Roberts was in the country illegally. All right. And had no work authorization. So if this man had no work authorization, how come he's a big bad superintendent at a school? And if he has a gun criminal record, they claim, what is he doing around children? You're not, when you have criminal record, you can't work in schools. The last time we checked, right? So if he had no work authorization, how come he was working? When he applied for the job, who looked over his paperwork? Not only that, was he working in his rightful name or he's working in somebody else's name rightfully? I am not sure. And what I mean, like working in someone's name, rightful, I mean that somebody who has no criminal record and legally abiding citizen in America. So let's get into the story some more. Because you guys know I always have some weird story coming over here. I don't really want to do too much mix up over here. And I don't want to talk about everything that everybody is talking about. We want to talk about some unique story, some crazy ass story about real life issues, what's happening now. You understand? And other things that's happening in the world. You know, we're all over the place. Yesterday we were in California talking about the 21 children that got taken away from some weird ass couples, right? 17 of the babies were 3 and under. So that's the weird story we talked about yesterday. So a lot of time you're not gonna get a lot of people on the channel because we talk about some weird ass stories that nobody really talk about. You understand? But nevertheless, by the time we get off, maybe have a couple of people watch the content until I could continue to come every day till I pick up, like I will pick up the other day in my lives when you have 100 and something, sometimes 200, sometimes 800, and the list go on. It varies. But nevertheless, not shying from the topic. Okay, let's continue. So basically, he had no work authorizations. Roberts was from Guyana in South America, was considered an ICE fugitive because he was subject to a final removal order issued in 2024, the agency said. So he was on deportation order removal from 2024, and now we're in 2025. On Friday, he was locked up, fled in the woods. The superintendent, who's in Big Bad Public School, seeing over parents, seeing over teachers, seeing over everybody else, but he has gun charges. So whose fault is that? Is he working in rightfully his name? Is he working rightfully in someone's name? What's happening here? I am stunned, lost for words, but this is a story, you all, and I have the audio as well. So don't forget that I have the audio to back up what I'm reading right now. Let's continue, all right? So he was on a removal order in 2024, the agency said. I said that he targeted Roberts for arrest by a traffic driving in his school issued vehicle. The man also had school vehicle. Because the superintendent is a big bad man who has all the perks that he get as a superintendent, right? So he even have the school car vehicle basically driving. And they caught him in traffic, try to pull him over. By the time they pull him over, they realize, okay, whatever, on a removal order, yada, yada, yada. He end up flooding in the woods. He end up fled in the woods. So you tell me now. He end up what? Fled in the woods. So if he was on a removal order and had no authorization, this man here, show you him right here, look like a stunner, well dressed, glasses up, tied down, well suited, big superintendent, but man have no authorization to be a superintendent. Basically, they're saying in his dapper suit and style suit and fancy suit, basically. All right? I'm lost and dumbfounded, but what can I say? It's a story that I'm reading, so let me continue and stop wasting time. Anyways, after that stop, he abandoned the vehicle near a wooded area. He was eventually located and taken into ICE custody. With the help of Iowa State Patrol officers, Robert was brought to Woodbury County Jail in Northwest late Friday afternoon. So we're just on Monday. So a couple of days ago, this happened. Okay? All right? So the state patrol officers' help brought this man to Woodbury County Jail in Northwest Iowa late Friday afternoon. According to jail and ICE record, it was unclear if Roberts had any attorney to represent him. All right? Robert, who has described himself as a longtime gun owner and a hunter, was in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 cash, and a fixed blade hunting knife when arrested by ICE. So who we heard about that story before? If you're in the country illegal, can you carry a concealed weapon? Does the citizen rights to bear arm applies to you? No. So that man is going to get a next gun charge. So basically he's really going to be deported. Because if he already had a gun charge before, in the he was deemed to be deported in 2024, not authorized to be working as a superintendent, and now has, when they called him, $3,000 and a next gun. So to bear arm in America, that goes by who? People who have documents. To bear arm in America is for people who have citizenship and green card. If you want to go the legal route. We're not talking about the one them claim them are bad people until ICE catch up on them, police, FBI, and then they start snitching. Right? So now they caught up to you again. You have $3,000 they claim. Yes? Fixed blade, hoping that the blade is not bigger than his palm, because that would be a next charge. Because in my country, the blade can be bigger than your palm. Right? And a loaded handgun. So it depends on the states where they charge. Maybe they charge for every bullet. Oh, no. So this man went to America on a student visa to go to university. I'm going to say all alleged, even if it's true. Allegedly, don't mix me. I'm only the messenger. Yeah? Or me get it, I come spit it out. Okay? But anyways, this man, they claim, allegedly, went to America on a student visa to go to university. Visa expired. Work permit basically expired. Because when you go to many countries as a student, you're allowed to work certain hours. Document expired, was on removal order from 2024. Get caught Friday before this Monday with a loaded gun, $3,000 cash, and a blade knife. So they will shout out when? Trouble set up like rain, you have nowhere to go. So is this dumb and dumber and the dumbest, although he's one person? Or this is Larry, Curly, and Mo, and he's one person? Make that make sense for me. So did he dig himself deeper into a hole? Is he a jackass, donkey of the day, or ICE is making up stories? Or ICE allegedly targeting different kind of people that don't look like certain people? And I'll give you an example. Don't mix me. I'm not bringing no race story. There was a guy the other day, got caught for DUI, was released by the state police, and 1 week or 2 weeks later, he dismembered that black girl on my channel that I dropped that content. And he was in the country illegal. So that day when they arrested him for DUI, what happened? He wasn't violent enough to go dig through his immigration paper problems or status, but a superintendent that just like a dapper, just like a handsome black man they claim, nice and clean and fresh, well sweet up, stopping in traffic, driving the school car. Make that make sense for me. So is ICE and the police checking out everybody, or it's certain people? Allegedly. Don't mix me. All right? Let's continue. Not shying from the story. You're making a content, you're gonna talk within the content, or maybe you just read the story and talk after. But for me, I love chat. Sorry. You understand? Let's continue. Anyhow, after that, how this illegal alien was hired without working authorization, a final order of removal, prior weapons charge beyond comprehension, and school alarm parents of the school district. So let's go over this again one more time because I got the audio. This man left from Guyana to a promised land. Student visa expired. Remember, it's only certain country you could claim refugee status. There was a story in my country the other day with a Jamaican family, and it's the whole half of the country or community had to protest on paper to let those people stay in, because majority of some of these third world country, you cannot say you're a refugee. Sometimes it doesn't work out, right? Anyhow, so this man went to US to go and study in university, allegedly. Student visa expired. Work permit expired that comes with the visa. He landed himself a nice job that people who has the background of teaching, the background of education, can get a superintendent job. Citizens, people who have rightful documents. He landed that job. Dapper, nice, sweet. Okay, good night. On removal order from 2024 because of weapon charges. So this man is a gun-toting arms house, allegedly. Yes? Not only that, he's not authorized to be working at the school. Red flag 1, criminal record. Red flag 2, not authorized. Red flag 3, no documents in America, illegal. Say who? Illegal. Don't believe me? Let's get to the audio. Quick and fast. Because remember, I'm talking too much. So we want to unpack this with the audio to back up my shenanigans, my content, weird ass content, but it's reality. Like now. Okay?
Well, on to this. It's hard to believe Des Moines School's superintendent arrested by ICE. ICE announcing Friday that Ian Andre Roberts is, quote, a criminal illegal alien from Ghana in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife. At the time of his arrest, Roberts was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work authorization. Roberts has existing weapons possession charges from February 5th, 2020, and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. Absolutely stunning. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf joins me now. You know, Chad, you and I worked together when I was in the White House. It is shocking to me that someone in charge of our school district, the largest school district in Iowa, had a final removal order. How does that happen? I don't think it would have happened under your tenure.
Well, it's a great question. Obviously, the school district did not do their due diligence. He has a criminal record as well. So clearly they didn't do any type of background investigation. The amazing part here is he has no work authorization. So when they enter this individual's information into their system in order to get paid, to pay taxes and the like, all sorts of red flags should have been prompted there. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they say, to see how this individual, did he use an alias? How did this come about? And I think it begged the further question of the amount of illegal aliens that are here in the United States working in everyday jobs and the like. And some of them, like this individual who has a possession charge, has other criminal acts.
Like in my country, people are crying that the Indians are taking over the jobs, the students. But as an employer, which one you rather? Would you rather to pay citizen big money or more money and then benefits? Or you rather to pay the students lower wages and no benefits? Or you rather to give the students to work, split one full-time job 3 ways: permanent part-time, and casual part-time. If you're struggling business, what do you think? You have lots of people out here don't even want to work and cry that everybody's taking their job and cry they can't find a job. But if you should shove your resume outside, push your resume outside, you'll land a job. Because a lot of people nowadays days out here don't want to work. And when they realize you're out here working, they will have all kind of things to say and don't know what it is to take to clock in every day, same time, deal with your co-workers, deal with your boss, deal with all kind of things to go with that job. And still have to come home to your family. It's not easy. So the question becomes, how much more people out here illegal having these kind of big jobs and we don't know about it? And did the school drop the ball of having an illegal alien in their school, have a gun charge, not authorized to work in the school, and have a criminal record, and he's the biggest superintendent in the school of Iowa, biggest district? So can you blame a man from getting a job, or do you blame the school for not doing their diligent duty to make sure that they screen every assholes or every people or every persons or every employee that come through that door? Who should be at fault? And everybody know how hard it is when you have documents working than when you don't have none and don't have a job and can't get a job. So if we did hear, so this man is maybe selling some drugs, they will be like kissing her teeth, rolling her eyes, and but working, get caught with gun, claims that he has a license for the gun. If you're not authorized in the country illegal, then are you authorized to bring a gun around? I would think, nope. It's almost like the squash story. When you're illegal in America, you don't have that right to bear arm. That right don't go for you now. So right now at his feet, he has a next gun and rounds in the gun. So perhaps that's a next gun charge. But he's already on his way out to Guyana because the judge already said from 2024, go to your yard. Bye. Don't come back. Admissible to the country. Yeah? Federal crime. Gun. Go home. So I never heard a story like this in my life. That this man is not authorized to work, have a criminal record, but still able to land a job in the biggest district school in America. So they're going to make example out of him and everybody else who's illegal taking up some of these big jobs. I'm not threatening you guys. I'm just saying. I am just saying now, because look at this story. Who picked up this story? Isn't this a story for everybody to talk about? Superintendent is a big job. He's bigger than everybody else in the school, basically. That's who you go to when there's a problem in school, and basically the school board. You buck up on this guy. So the question becomes, before he came from Guyana, was he a teacher, principal, what? And since he's not authorized to work, whose name, whose document was he working under? And if he's working under his rightful name, legal name, that's on the Guyana's documents, that was on the student documents when he went to America, then the only person you can blame would be the school. Because remember, you're not supposed to have any criminal record working around children. So is it because it was just maybe a minor incident with the gun, like what they call him now, just a loaded gun in the car? Did he did something with the gun? Or because they didn't see assault? So they didn't do any background check as in screening? Remember, you have to do work with children, work with seniors and all of that. You have to do a vulnerable police check. So I don't get it. So was he working legally in his name? And the way I see it, the only person, people to blame would be the school. Think about it.
On their record, and to be so close to school children, right? To be part of the education system there in Des Moines is really troubling.
I mean, Chad, I look at these pictures and I see kids, and I think that could have been my kid. And this guy had a criminal charge. Do you think, and again, I know I'm asking you to speculate here, did they just not input his name into the system? How often does this happen? I mean, there are measures in place. I mean, it seems like it'd have to take a whole lot of looking the other way to not find this.
I think so. Look, the school system there, just like any other employer around the country, has an obligation to make sure that everyone that they're hiring is here in the United States legally, has the ability to work legally. So if they're not a U.S. citizen, then they have some type of work authorization provided by the federal government. In this case, the Department of Homeland Security. He didn't have any of this. And so the question is, did he provide a fraudulent social security number and was operating as someone else? And if not,
I will hear it all the time online. How people are working with all kind of people's security, social security, them dead, them this, them that. We hear it all the time online. So this man is in more hot water. And I don't know how much more hot water can he be if the judge already said go home from 2024. He's already on a deportation order. You can dip him and dip him again. So I don't even know if all of this is relevant, but I'm just saying, I don't know if this is relevant or irrelevant, the way I'm seeing it, because it's just maybe just an example that they're going to be using for everybody else. But if he's already on a deportation order through the door, does all of this even make sense to broadcast? Does it even make sense for me to do a content on it? Because the judge already said from 2024, get out. Bye. You're deported because of the gun charge you had previous, right? Anyhow.
I think there's a lot of questions that school system has to answer. And the question is, are there others there as well?
Yeah, you know, Secretary Wolf, that's a great question. And back to our top story of the day, because I want viewers to...
Georgia. All right. So now I told you, people are going to slam the school board because the only person that you could blame would have to be the school board. Not only that, people are protesting, all right, saying that they should let him go, free him. His name is Dr. Roberts, and all of that. His license has been revoked and placed on unpaid leave. Let's unpack.
Live right now to Iowa. Des Moines School Board just came back from a meeting to discuss the future of the superintendent after his education license was revoked. He was investigated by ICE. We are now getting the latest updates right now.
Not clearly state that I do not know the answer, but we will get back to you with an answer if we can provide it.
Jackie, we have not been able to get confirmation from immigration about his exact status as a citizen. Clearly, the state board of education has gotten this. So, and you mentioned it tonight about whether or not you have documentation that shows it. So, is there any way to know definitively if he's a citizen or not, and how do we find that out?
I cannot confirm how the Board of Educational Examiners made their decision. We have asked for the documentation that they used to make that decision. What we have received from the Department of Homeland Security was information stating that they had the basis to determine that Dr. Roberts was ineligible to work in our country.
Do you need that, though, to make a decision on whether you're going to fire this guy? I mean, it seems like you would need that for legal reasons.
It is very important for us to take a moment and make sure that we have the basis for any decision we made. So we have asked.
Remember, they claim allegedly that ICE been lying out here. Remember that boy that they sent to Ecuador and that boy was American citizen? Remember all that story? So the school board has to be mindful how they let go of this man, fire this man, because I can turn around and bite them in their ass with a lawsuit. Remember, wrongful dismissal. Don't forget. So they want to make sure, say, A, he's illegal for true. B, he was working in the rightful name. And C, he was authorized to work at that school or in America. Before they say, bye, sayonara, you're suspended, you're fired, although the license right now is revoked. So this one tricky. This one has legality all over it. And this one, I don't know when it's going to done. But look out for Donald Trump to make a whole field day out of this one. Let's continue.
Dr. Roberts' attorney by tomorrow at noon to provide a set of documents, including the information to verify his citizenship status.
What is the mood of the district and how has this affected that mood?
Yeah. When we think about this as board members, we think about the kids. And, he sparked a joy in our kids and an excitement in our kids. And I think it probably over time is probably heartbreaking if it.
Kids them love him, everybody love him. They say he's a fine ass superintendent. So this man pretend to be a superintendent, pretend to, oh God. Maybe this is an honest mistake. I'm not sure, to be honest. All right? So this man even about voting, they went to go drag out this man. When it comes to a lot of us, more time people dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But some people, like the Epstein story, we can't hear nothing. Like so much other people's story, we don't hear nothing. But something simple like this. Remember, not simple as in simple, because that's crazy to know you have a criminal record working at the school. You're not authorized to work in the country, plus even in the school, and you're there. So that story is crazy. But what I'm saying is this. He's already out the way, out the American system. From 2024, he's supposed to be deported to Guyana. So can you double deport him? No. All you have to do now, don't bring him back in front of another judge. Just put him on the plane, because he already had a removal order from 2024. So he wouldn't even be relevant anymore. Until now, we don't know what they said he did with the gun. But he had gun charges prior 2020 and 2021. And now again, they caught him with another gun loaded. So now even his voting registration came up in this whole conversation. Let's unpack.
There are mounting questions about how an illegal immigrant who has faced criminal charges and deportation orders was able to serve as a Baltimore City principal and most recently as the head of Iowa's largest school district. ICE agents arrested Ian Roberts of Guyana on Friday after they say that he took off in his car, dumped it, and then ran into a wooded area. ICE says he was found with a loaded weapon and $3,000 in cash.
You too, Florence. Have a good night, sis.
In the United States. In 1999, he overstayed his student visa. A year later, Roberts was charged with weapons possession, and in 2024, an immigration judge issued a final order of removal. Well, now questions are mounting about how he was able to work for years without authorization.
So when they enter this individual's information into their system in order to get paid, to pay taxes and the like, all sorts of red flags should have been prompted there. The question is, Did he provide a fraudulent social security number and was operating?
So you hear what the story was? So came rightfully legal in the country now. Don't play with it. On a student visa to go to university. Visa expired. He overstayed instead of renew that shit. Or go home and come back. Sometimes immigration just want to see if it could be tamed. Right? So it's best sometimes to go home and come back. Right? He didn't do that. End up with gun possession. And the judge say, you know what? 1 strike, you're out. Not even 2 strike, 1. Get out. After that gun charge. Because gun charge is serious, right? Especially if you're illegal alien in front of the judge. Because when you're illegal, have no green card, and a citizen of America, you don't have the right to bear arms. Not at all. You don't have that right. Right? Anyways. So we'll follow this story. We'll stay in the story and see what happens next. If he's going to really leave and be deported, or some kind of magic one going to wave him out of ICE detention. We're not sure. Anyways, moving on. So that was the content, basically. Superintendent have big job and basically almost on the verge to be deported to Guyana. Okay? I have some other things that I wanted to talk about, but maybe I'm just going to maybe kiss my teeth and pass. Yeah? 1 second. Thinking if I could find this one. 1 second. Let's see if this is it. What? What the hell is it, man? 1 second, guys. If not, I'm just gonna kiss my teeth and go because I'm exhausted and gotta rise early in the morning like the sun. Sometimes I don't got too much room of playtime, you know what I mean? So, where is it, man? 1 second, man. Like, seriously? I don't know. I can't find it. Oh, okay. Never mind. Here it is. So I came and spoke to you guys about an uncivilized mutt Sunday decided to drive his pickup truck in the church in Michigan, assault weapon, turn it on the church goers in the church, and then set the church on fire and trap some of those people in the church. Police them killed him, and now FBI is searching for motive in the deadly Michigan church attack. Let's get there. If you guys didn't know what's happening in the world.
Flames and plumes of smoke rise from the Mormon church in Grand Blanc, Michigan, a town northwest of Detroit, which became the scene of a mass shooting on Sunday.
I need manpower up here ASAP. I have people trapped in the building. Repeat, people trapped in the building. We got children inside too.
Emergency responders rushing to the scene after receiving reports that a man had crashed his vehicle through the front doors and then opened fire with an assault rifle before deliberately setting fire to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, killing 4 people and injuring several others. Police say 2 of the deceased were shot while 2 other bodies were discovered in the charred remains of the church.
This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community.
I'm completely distraught. This was a quiet neighborhood. You know, we've never seen anything like this.
Authorities are identifying the suspected gunman as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford, a former U.S. Marine from Burton, Michigan. He was killed in a police shootout.
So it was a Marine.
Confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation and is investigating this as an act of targeted violence. I will confirm that there were some suspected explosive devices that were
How come when somebody else
from the Mormon church and
how come when somebody else do this thing, they said it was to be a terrorist attack, but when their own do it, they said that it was rise of violence? So he was a ex-Marine and decided to go in Almighty God's temple, the church, with his pickup truck, shoot up the church basically, and set that place on fire. Who does that? Who does that, guys? Who does that? That's disturbing and troubling. Right? Anyways, we also want to get to the next small part where a UK woman who moved to LA to become a lawyer was killed and dismembered in her apartment. So let's get to that. Okay? I'm just dropping them and wrapping up this live.
Now at 11, a homicide investigation in Hollywood. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson. A woman who moved here from Scotland was found dead and dismembered inside her apartment. NBC4's Darsha Phillips live in Hollywood with new details and reaction from one of her friends. Darsha.
Carolyn, investigators with the Los Angeles Police Department say June Bunyan died from traumatic neck injuries. Her body wasn't discovered for days. She lived in this apartment behind me, and NBC4 investigates uncovered that when officers doing a wellness check finally went into her apartment, they walked into a grisly scene. 37-year-old June Bunyan found dead inside her apartment on Franklin Avenue in Hollywood on September 11th. Investigators with the Los Angeles Police Department say Bunyan was dismembered and parts of her body put into plastic bags.
I knew June. I was her neighbor and her friend.
Ariel Miller was June's neighbor. For the year and a half, June lived at Franklin Allure apartment.
So is there a serial killer going around in Hollywood? Because remember that teenager girl was dismembered and put in the singer's Tesla. And there was a next dismembered body they claimed they found. And now this lawyer lady who wanted to be a lawyer ended up dismembered in her apartment. So is there a serial killer running around in Hollywood? Sacrificing someone? I'm not sure.
She was a great person. Everybody in the apartment complex knew her. She was a friend to everyone.
June's 25-year-old husband, Jonathan Renteria, was arrested, accused of murdering and dismembering June's body. The LAPD tells NBC4 investigates. Renteria was found in a motel in Newbury Park on September 11th after he tried to slit his wrists. Responding officers found a note in the motel, apparently written by Renteria, saying he had killed his wife. That initiated a wellness check at the apartment in Hollywood.
Wow. Do you hear that? So domestic violence is never okay. All right. From there, guys, we also want to talk about this man that was killed by his tiger. Okay, so let's talk about this one. I'm sure you guys know this guy. I heard about this guy. I even heard about this story. So let's see if I could unpack the story quick, and then I'm going to wrap up this live, okay?
Some horrifying news out of Oklahoma where a tiger mauled killed its handler. Ryan Easley ran the Growler Pines Preserve, which is a private facility offering tours and demonstrations with retired circus tigers. Ryan was also a former associate of imprisoned zoo owner and Netflix star Joe Exotic, at one point keeping some of his animals at the Tiger King's facility. Ryan was said to be nearing the end of a show when a tiger who he had handled since birth attacked him out of nowhere. He suffered bites to his neck and shoulder. Ryan was just 37 years old. Joining us now is wildlife biologist and TV host Forrest Galante, who has decades of experience with apex.
Our heart and soul goes up, but when these people are going to realize that these things are wild animals, no matter how much medication you give it, no matter how you tame it, give it meat, all this, they're wild animals now. They belong in the wild, but nevertheless.
Forrest, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
This is beyond devastating. What was the first thing that went through your mind when you heard about Ryan's death?
You know, it's just so sad, and I can tell you without any doubt that the tiger did not attack him maliciously or attack him viciously. It was simply a mistake. The problem is when you're dealing with, a 500-pound wild cat, one little mistake, whether it's an agitation, similar to what you get with your house cat, can be fatal. The difference with your house cat is it's a little scratch, and with the tiger, that's just a poorly placed bite that can end someone like Ryan's life. So it really is an unfortunate event.
Ryan handled this tiger since it was a cub. They were apparently very close. You have experience with these animals close up. How unpredictable are they?
Very much.
You know, a cat's a cat at the end of the day, and I for any cat owners out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your cat can be super sweet and fun, and you can be tickling him on the tummy, and then he can just swipe at you out of agitation or aggravation or just out of sheer boredom. And like I said before, the difference is when a tiger does that, it can be absolutely.
So imagine that you have this tiger from it's a cub, and the tiger is big now and mauled you to death. Same as marine land is closed, so much lawsuits. They're animals, leave them in the wild. I can't tell when I go to the zoo because I just feel like, to be honest, I'll reserve my comment. I'll reserve my opinion. Seriously. Let's move on and wrap up this life quick and fast, okay? From there, 1 second. From there, we get to understand that Howie didn't get to see, Nisha family allegedly didn't want Howie at the graveside and all of that. Let's use this and wrap up the live, okay? 1 second.
Is to use in the church whenever the casket is up by the podium. Right? It's not to bring right around. No. That's not the purpose of the cloth.
But this cloth was going all around.
Excuse me. Put God first.
Yes, sir.
Pleasant night, everyone. Let me ask you.
Pleasant night.
Was the casket a glass house casket, a semi-glass, G-style? What type of casket was it, sir?
Yeah, the head part was glass. The head part was glass. Glass only.
It's an half glass.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, an half glass, which is still considered a G-style. Okay.
It's a G-style half glass.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you one question. All right? Yeah. Do you normally do your funerals like that?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't need for a cloth to be driven from the funeral home.
All the way till burial.
Doesn't need that. The only funeral there's a cloth driven from the funeral home is police.
Police. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys.
Sorry.
Nisha side of family. God to give Nisha the power to deal with our family, them the right and proper way. Them not even make we see when them are put Nisha in the grave properly. Because the finishing touch to them, wickedness, was the final puzzle piece.
I try to refrain my humble opinion when it comes to Nisha and Howie. I've been telling you guys it for the longest time that I would never make a TikTok page. TikTok is dealing with souls and all of that evilness that's going on TikTok. Nothing comes for free. Nobody just don't sit down there and say tops and roses and people just send their money like that. Did you hear how much money Abel Boss got one time from a woman? You think it's just easy, just take out your money out your wallet, especially if you're working, and just give it to people? If you're mean to yourself to buy yourself one fish, to buy yourself a lobster, if you're in the grocery store complaining about a tray of egg, then you think that these people are normal people. They're not underneath some kind of spell that they will take out their money and give it to people. You have enough people on that TikTok who's giving people hundreds of dollars going to store to cry over egg that they don't want to buy, it's too expensive. Not eating a good meal, but giving people a bag of money on TikTok. Can you guys not see what's going on TikTok? TikTok is there to trick you, mock you, and sacrifice you. If you're not sacrificed, will be your loved one. Can you guys not see that? Can you not see that everybody on TikTok, most of them going to have similar issues and similar debts? Can't you guys not see? Remember, to get all of that money and to reach to the top, you got to sell your soul. And you got to sacrifice. So whether losing your children, whether losing your loved one, whether you unalive yourself, whether someone come and kill you. Don't you guys know this? So my thing is, neither here nor there. We know by the rate. There's a high rate out here where a black woman is dying in childbirth and after childbirth if you don't take care of yourself. With the same thing of anemia and anemic. You guys don't know this? High rate of women are dying in childbirth, black women, and after childbirth. So when you're anemic and have anemia, and you really don't take care of yourself, even especially that you have a baby after that, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to end up in the hospital. And who was in the hospital to let that poor girl gain back her strength? You guys came out and said there was nobody to give her a shower. There was nobody to do this. There was nobody to do that. Remember you guys came out and say that? So if the family member is wicked and wicked and wicked and wicked and wicked and past wicked and working obia, when you guys beat the family member all here by cursing them every minute, are they gonna make this? Is it gonna make the situation better when it comes to the baby? Remember, there's part of Nisha on earth still, the baby. So when are you guys gonna make Nisha rest? Since you guys love her so much, when? When she's sick, wanna talk about the diaper that she's wearing. When she went in the hospital, when she went in the hospital, you guys talk about it. When she was on her sick bed, needed diaper and all, wanna come out and chastise. When Howie couldn't get no so-called visitation, wanna come out and talk. When she's gonna transfer to some other hospital, you guys came out and sing. When they banned Howie from the hospital, you guys came out and clap. And I don't mean like clap, but I'm just saying. So now she's buried and she's gone and passed on. When are you guys going to make that poor little girl rest in peace? When? When? Cursing the family can't bring her back. And cursing the family not going to change the way the casket look or the way they put her in. and cursing the stepmother for something maybe possible had a lot to do with her health. When you're anemic, don't have enough blood, your white blood cells is eating up your red blood cells. You don't have enough red blood cells and enough red blood cells to carry oxygen to the rest of your blood vessels. You're in trouble. So until now, nobody came out and said what the doctor had said or what the doctor had talked about. No, until now, we can't hear anybody come and say, well, the doctor said this and the doctor said that. But I'm going to tell you guys this. The rate of Black women dying in childbirth and after childbirth been a long time coming in the Black community. And I've been talking about this over the years. For years, I've been talking about this. So every Black woman that died after childbirth or in childbirth is voodoo and obia. When you guys go in the nail shop and those people have their doll there in the nail shop with their money tree and the money underneath the money tree and all of that, aren't they not working some kind of ritual? And every day you guys are in that nail shop? Then you guys all here arguing about the dolly, why that black doll in the grave? Then what color was Nisha? So if they did put a white doll in the grave, it would be better for you guys? It would be prosperity? She'll be going to heaven? So Black people in 2025 are scared of black dolls. But nobody came and talked about that doll story where the man brought the doll somewhere in America and ended up dead. The doll story. I'm going to come back and talk about that doll story in a couple of days. So there's real doll stories out here, and you guys are not talking about it that happened the other day. But you guys are different shades. I try to differentiate the color doll that was supposed to be in the casket. And it's strange and sad because you have lots of you parents right now out here going to the store and passing up the brown and the black doll and buying a white doll for you guys' children. So when these little girls go out there tomorrow morning in the public, don't have any self-esteem and all of that, and don't believe in themselves and believe in their blackness, who to be blamed? They were damaged from their children. They're damaged from their small. Mommy didn't allow us to play with something that looking like us. Mommy allowed them to play with some white dolls. So if you're an ass nowadays days, have your children only playing with white dolls in your household, you're crazy. You're setting up your children out there for failure, the way I see it. A child's supposed to be taught to love themselves first, no matter what color they are. So if you guys are out here going to come cry about that Nisha had a black doll in the grave, well, I'll just kiss my teeth and pass. So if it was a lighter skinned doll, a white doll, it would be prosperity. It would be an angel in the casket, another voodoo doll. So same like our society. Link blackness to evil. Link blackness to angriness. Lead blackness to savageness. Lead blackness to all kind of bad things that they can. The Black community come right now in 2025 discussing a mother that passed away, possible, after having that child for a low blood count, anemia, aka anemic, and out here singing obia, 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 obia. And still not discussing the rate how black women are dying in childbirth and after they have their child. Nobody ain't talking about that. Remember, in the black community, there's lots of people in the black community suffer from anemia, aka anemic. So if you guys don't know that black woman is dying the rate more than their peers in childbirth and after childbirth, well, let me hand it out to you guys right now. Okay? All right? 1 second. Childbirth is a death sentence for many black mothers. Didn't you guys not know this? Oh, you want me to? I'll give you guys a shorter version of it. Okay? Shorter version. Sorry. Shorter version of this one. All right? Listen.
Everything was pointing to signs that she was having a great
Even
pregnancy.
nurses are dying right now in
another
childbirth
very
and
healthy
after.
baby boy.
And they're nurses.
The last thing I told her was that I loved her.
Listen.
The last thing I told Kira is I loved her.
This is a nurse that passed away. I'm just giving you guys a story. So, black woman.
When they told me.
1 second, I'm going to back it up. Black women are most. 1 second. One second.
The last thing I told her was that I loved her.
1 second.
The last thing I told Kira is I loved her.
American mothers are dying in childbirth, and black women is dying 10 times than their peers in childbirth and after childbirth. That's why I can't fathom how I see enough women just have baby today and outside. Have baby today and outside in shorts, not covering up, not remembering about baby cold, not remembering about hemorrhaging, all of those things. Yeah? As they have the baby, everybody see the baby, all of those things. When you have baby, you gotta take care of yourself. When you're anemic, aka anemia, you gotta take care of yourself. After having that baby take a toll on your body, when you're anemia, aka anemic, when she was in the hospital, who was there to give her some green banana? Iron, please. Who was there to give her some spinach? You think box food and KFC help someone with anemia, aka anemic, aka anemia, to rebuild all of that blood she lost having that baby, all of that energy that she lost carrying that baby for 9 months? So when things are imminent, when black women is dying at the rate of childbirth and after childbirth, I'm tired of you guys out here saying obia, 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 obia every minute. And you know why I'm going to put this on you guys? Because like I said, lots of people are working their ritual and you guys don't care about it. Starting with the Chinese nail shop. When you go to the Chinese nail shop to do your nails, manicure, pedicure, please, what do they have in the front there? A voodoo doll. What do they have there? A money tree. What do you see underneath the money tree? What do you see that they're giving to the voodoo doll? Offerings, incense. They're doing their ritual for you to come in there to spend your money all the time, for you to always come back. So everybody out here is doing a ritual. We call it obia. Some people call it voodoo. Some people, we call it black magic, witchcraft, and the list go on. Many names to it. So how come the black nation can go into the Asian businesses where they have their dolls, their money tree, they look at offering stand there, doing their ritual, and kiss them teeth and do their manicure and pedicure is not a problem. But when there's a black situation happening, everybody start to ball out witchcraft and obia. So are we comfortable with witchcraft or obia or black magic? Sometimes. And when it's hot topic, we're out here shouting blasphemy against voodoo. Make that make sense for me. Because when you go into the China nail shop, the voodoo doll is there. What do you think they're working? You think that is just there to say hi? The statue is just there? The money tree is just there with all that money and stuff like that, what they put on it is just there because of what? That's the way how these people draw you in there to go and get to go spend your money. That's how they draw all the money in there. They claim to in their mind. And every day we pass that and go and sit down and do our manicure and pedicure. So how come it's okay for us to watch other nation doing black magic in front of our face, sit down around the black magic or the ritual, but when something that we can't try to understand about black women dying in childbirth and after childbirth, we come out and shout voodoo, obi, and all of that. Let's unpack how many black women are dying. Okay? Black women are most at risk of dying in childbirth and after childbirth, if you guys didn't know. Long time this been happening. Long time this been happening. All right? So let's continue.
When they told me that her heart stopped, that was all I heard. I said, wait, at nights thinking, man, like maybe I should have grabbed somebody by their collar, right? Maybe I should have turned the table over, right? Would that have made a difference? I definitely thought about the whole issue of I didn't want to be perceived not only as angry, but angry black man. Right? I'm not the smallest guy in the world. And what that would mean and how we would be perceived and how we would be treated as a result of that perception. When this first happened, I would get the question a lot. Well, do you think it was because she was black? You think it would be different if Kira was white or was a different color? And the way I answer that question is the simple fact that you have to ask that question is a problem.
For every 13 white women, there are 44 black women who die from childbirth-related causes. Am I lying? So that's what you guys should be talking on the panels. Most of these panels that you guys out here bawling about witchcraft. Remember when you're anemic, anemia, being pregnant, decrease your hemoglobin. So if you're not feeding that body, eating that leafy green vegetable, those beets, and all of that, KFC can't cut it to bring back your health when you're pregnant. Anybody who has low iron, especially pregnant and giving birth after, and having a poor diet. Didn't you guys not come and say, in the hospital, nobody was there to care for her? Who was there to go bring her some porridge? Who was there to give her some green banana and some callaloo? Who was there to make her some beet juice? Some soup maybe? Some stews? Who was there? So can somebody be anemic, aka anemia, have baby, decrease of your hemoglobin when it comes to your red blood cells? And if you don't feed your body back the way it's supposed to be, you're going to die. Don't you guys know what anemic is in the black community? It's serious. So I can't believe all these years, black women is out here dying by the rate of having baby and after childbirth, and everybody's pretending that they don't know what's going on. Right? So when you're pregnant, when it comes to anemia, your hemoglobin decreases. Very much so. And if you don't take care of yourself, you could die. So that's what I think happened to Nisha, to be honest. I don't think no Obed, they said no Obed and all this nonsense you guys are singing about. I don't believe it. But anyhow, let's continue.
The only thing that we conclude
Listen.
with any kind of reasonable certainty is that the experience of being black in America is so fundamentally different from the experience of being white in America that it translates to health outcomes. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die than white women in the United States. And the only difference is the color of one's skin.
All of this is racism. It's various types of racism. It's not something inherent in black women. Genetics isn't a part of it.
And not only that, a lot of black women nowadays have pre-conditions that they're not dealing with and think that they could have babies nowadays days and they're going to come up pretty good. So if you have anemia, aka anemic, or anemic, aka anemia, look after yourself, because you end up all here dying. All right? I'm going to jump off of this live, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys another time. You guys don't know I'm selling some glasses. I got too much glasses, and to be honest, they're just sitting there. I have on the Coach glasses right now, and this is the other one, the blue Coach glasses to this one, and this one is the blue one. I'll put it on so you guys can see it. Just like some, this is Coach. Got the case and something over there somewhere. I don't know where, somewhere. Okay, this is the next Moschino one I was telling you guys about, and some other ones. This is the, I'm gonna keep this one because I like, this is a Balenciaga one. I'm gonna keep this one. But yeah, guys, all right. So just letting you guys know, I just don't want to show the rest of them now. I'm too tired. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. But nevertheless, guys, thank you for stopping by. And at the end of the day, I'll catch you guys another time with a content or two. Peace out.